Alright, welcome back to the channel. My name is Eric, and I thought today we'd kind of do what we do for a service when a lawn tractor comes in. This one here is a Poolin Pro, and the main thing we do with these, if they're running and driving, see like this air filter, you can't blow that filter out. I got a new one on order. We change both the plugs here and here, change the oil filter right there, and then we change the fuel filter. We take underneath on the deck and scrape that all out with a putty knife. This girl got new blades, and so did that one over there that I'll show you in just a minute. Other than that, we kind of do a once over to make sure everything is the way it's supposed to be. But see, I'll give you an up close. That is beyond being blown out. A lot of times you can blow them out and then replace them every 2 years, but they get to a certain point and it's not worth it. And we always replace the fuel filter whether it needs it or not, because see, even that one's leaking a little bit. We'll have to figure out why that's leaking a little bit and where it's leaking from. You have to keep track of all this stuff and keep it in mind when you're looking at stuff, is what is here and what's not. A lot of people don't grease the fittings on these for the axles. It's a must. Like I say, you got the fuel pump, you're doing the once over, the walk around. You're going to scrape the decks, check the cables, make sure everything is moving as it should. We do take and set the decks down, and we level the decks while they're here before they go out on the concrete so that they're nice and smooth. Tire pressures on all of it. And she's good to go. This is just doing a service on it. This one over here is a Craftsman. We got a little bit more light than what we do over there. It's the same deal. We're going to replace the fuel filter, oil filter, spark plugs. We do check the voltage on the batteries, and then we check them under load to see, and we want to check to see if it's charging back. We talked about solenoids, where they mount them. See, this one here is mounted up into here, and that's a 4-post where you have your hot coming from your battery, and then from your post to the starter. And then you got your 4-wire, which is a 2. One is from the switch and the other one's a ground. The only difference is the 3-wire is grounded to the frame, and this one grounds through that wire there. This one here, same deal. You want to grease the spindles. If you have greasable spindles on your decks, make sure they're all greased and they don't make any noise. Just give it the once over. This one here got a new air filter put into it. We left the pre-filter the way it was. Same deal. Put your decks on the ground and make sure that it's level so that you're not getting that waviness when it's doing it. And again, we're just doing an inspection, because some of them don't come with greasable spindles, so you have to find out whether it needs to be greased or not greased. If not, then they're throwaways. You can change bearings on them, and we do stock the bearings. So if you start hearing a noise, you can swap the bearings out in the spindles and the towers. Again, we're still doing a once over. Make sure all the connections are good. Make sure everything needs to work as it should before we release it out the door. And that's all there is to, if you have something that's running and driving, it's basically a basic service, right?